Hi, my name is Whitesell, head baseball coach at Holly Springs High School. And today with me I have Dallas Poulk, former player at NC State, and we're going to talk about some of the basics of hitting, give you a few drills, and Dallas is going to do a little bit of demonstrating. My little league bat, I don't know how far I'm going to hit the ball or how I'll square up. Not a very big barrel. I need a big barrel.
Thing drops bombs.
So the first thing I want to talk about with hitting is, number one thing, people say baseball players are not athletes. If you're not an athlete, you can't hit. I'll make it as simple as fact. So the first thing we're going to talk about is we want to get into a good stance. Typically for me, I want my shoulders or my feet just outside shoulder width, so I've got a good strong base, I've got a lot of good movement, and I can move. Then we're going to talk about the bat. We're going to put the bat. You guys ever knock the door? Knock the door. Knock the door. Those are your knocking knuckles. You want to line those up. You want the bat in your fingers. Okay? One thing I've always been taught is loose is fast, tight is slow. So we want this bat in our fingers so we're not over gripping too tight, making our muscles tight. We want the bat in our fingers, and we want to be kind of loose here. So good, strong base here, being athletic, bat in our fingers, and then we just want to get ready to hit. Okay, the pitcher's out here. No matter what drill we do, one of the things we like to do at Holly Springs is we always visualize every pitch is coming from there. Yes, you're hitting off a tee. We're never looking here just dead at a tee. We're always looking out at the pitcher. We're getting ready, bats in our fingers. We've got a good base. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to load up. What do we mean by load?
Before he goes, go back to your stance, Rod.
Yep.
So I want to show you right here. What is Rod doesn't look tense. He doesn't look out of place. He looks super comfortable. Hitting is about comfort. You have to feel good to hit good, I promise. So his hands are up. You know, people are different. Some people like hands up, some people like hands down. It's all about comfort. We're going to talk about load, and it's getting your hands to a certain point, and that's where the swing kind of syncs up. So you'll see a lot of big leaguers, they all look different when they're hitting, right? Some people are open, some people are closed, some people are up, some people are back. It's all different. But if you look, when they get ready for their swing, they all get to the same spot. So what that means is when they get that load, their hands all get back every time. So they get ready to hit the ball, and those hands are always in a locked position right here, ready to go. So if you think about punching a punching bag, you're not going to punch a punching bag from right here, right? You're not going to get that much into it. So if you go back like this and then you punch that punching bag, you're going to get a little more torque back behind you to put some force into that bag. It's the same thing with hitting. So Rod's going to go into the load, and we'll show you how he pulls those hands back.
All right, one other thing I like to equate to is a rubber band. You guys shoot your brother with a rubber band, you stretch that rubber band, you stretch out, create that tension so it can explode. So kind of when I take my hands back, also take my lower half just slightly forward a little bit. So it's here, I'm taking my hands back to a good position here where I can really explode with that, and then I'm loading this up, okay? So it's like I'm expanding my body so I can actually explode and drive through the baseball. You want to add on to that?
That was perfect. He got back in that strong position. You know, you can see, again, people to get here are a lot different. You'll see this, you'll see little toe taps, you'll see a little bit of everything, but those hands are always right there, locked, ready to go, and that foot gets down, it's time to hit. You want that foot to be down before you swing. So you don't want to try to swing with the foot coming in, then you're late. So you want that foot to be down, and then you're swinging. So you want to make sure you're on time. It's one of the biggest things as well.
All right, and then we'll just talk about the swing. We can talk all day. If we talked about bat path and things like that, me and Dallas could probably argue for 30 minutes. We could talk for another hour. So what we're really going to concentrate on is we wanted you guys to get in a good low position, ready to go, and let it loose. One thing we teach our players, swing as hard as you can without breaking down. And what do we mean by breaking down? Well, breaking down means when you start breaking down, swinging too hard, you fly your front shoulder open, your head flies out, all the things start to break down. So we're going to swing as hard as we can, where we can be here in a good hitting position, finish strong. We like to say heel to the sky. Dallas is going to show you a drill he did in a minute to make sure we're getting our backside through and getting our weight through. But the key is here, once you're here, whatever you're going to do, boom, go as hard as you can to that baseball and get after it. Okay, they always say hit the ball hard. That's the only chance you got. So,
that's it.
You got anything else?
That's it. We'll look at we'll hit off the tee here. We'll do a couple drills. We'll show you a couple different things. So first thing, it seems kind of crazy, but putting the ball on the tee. You know, everybody does a little bit different. Rod does it one way, which I totally agree with, and I do it a little different way. So Rod does it this way. So you'll see the two laces are up and down, they're vertical, which teaches you a great thing right here. So you'll see You always want to hit the inside of that ball. Staying inside the baseball is how you get barrel to the ball and how you get power. So you always want to stay inside of that baseball. Wrap it around like this. I've done it many times in my career. You roll over to the second baseman. Or your right is out there, you roll over to the shortstop. Weak fly ball to right field. And staying inside the baseball helps to prevent that as much as you can. It gets the barrel to the ball. So we'll hit a couple times like Ryan.
All right, I'm showing you the baseball. What you're seeing, Dallas is going to hit that inside seam with his barrel every single time he hits it. Guy's got a pretty good swing, so don't put too much pressure on yourself first day, guys.
Oh, got it.
Oh, I got it in his head, see? He wasn't comfortable. I made him a little nervous and he started thinking. So. All right,
second way to put a ball on. So it's kind of the exact opposite of that. So we hit inside the baseball. The next we're going to do it like this. So you'll see that the laces, the seams right here are going to run horizontal. And what that does is, that well, because a lot of left-handers out there, what do you always do? Drop and drive. We're big lefties. We watch the big lefties hitting growing up. We're hitting home runs. So what I do for this is I focus on that bat path of that lace going down. So it always reminds me to stay on top of the ball and to hit through the ball this way, not this way. So I'll hit a couple like this. It'll show you my thought process is hitting like this.
Dad, can I hit one?
Hit a little better like that.
Dad, can I hit one?
Oh,
Dad, can I hit one?
In a minute, bud, absolutely.
Okay. Dad,
All
how
right, the next thing we want to talk about is we're going to talk about getting through the baseball. If you notice when Dallas swings, I'm not left-handed, so I'm going to be smooth, he's always finishing his backside. All right, he's going to give you a quick drill to do that.
All right, so one of the things we do is, you know, you hear a lot of times squash the bugs, things like that. Rod teaches heel to the sky, which is another good way. It's all about a mental, something will click. You know, everybody does things a little different, but some things will click. What clicked for me is you set a ball right there. And what you're going to try to do is basically when you hit the ball and you follow through, you want to cover that baseball with your knee. So I'll show you how we do that. You want to set it kind of just on the left side, center left of your body. If you're a righty, you want to set it center right of your body. And what you're going to do is when you swing, you just want to practice covering that, getting your backside through the baseball so that you can hit with some power. So we'll do that a couple times and you'll watch me cover the baseball with the knee.
Dad, can I hit one now?
All right, as you can see, he's getting through the baseball, and what that's showing is he's getting his backside and using his lower half. Too many kids, you see swing, and they're sitting on their back heel, they're sitting here. He's actually getting his backside through the baseball. The other thing with T, everything we did was down the middle. We're just going to show you, and he doesn't necessarily hit. We're down the middle. If you'll notice the ball, he's setting the ball up right off his front hip. Okay, so he wants to hit that ball right off his front hip. If the ball's on the inner half, so I'm going to move it to his inner half, that ball he's going to get out just a little bit further on his inner half. Go ahead with the barrel just to show it at contact. Don't hit it, please. So that way he's still getting the barrel. So if you see middle, the barrel's here, inside the barrel's here. And then we go away, we're actually going the opposite direction. He's going to catch that further back in his stance. So understand on the tee, you can start in the middle, but make sure you work balls in, make sure you work balls away, but don't just change where you're at. Move the ball. So don't just go straight across. Move actually the ball in that diagonal path that we just showed to do that. Anything else to add on that one?
Can I hit one now?
Not on that, but just kind of overall, you know, hitting's really hard. Some of the basics you talk about, we've been talking about the fundamentals. Hitting's super hard. You got to keep your eyes still. The more they move, the harder it is to hit. Guys in the big leagues are throwing 95 plus. Really hard to react to that. If your eyes are moving, it's really hard to keep your hands in the right spot. And always do things with a purpose. You know, people put the ball on the tee different ways, and that's okay. Why do you do it? People put the ball under their knee and hit. Why do you do it? People do things for different reasons. Always know why you're doing something. Don't just do it because somebody, you know, you think it might work. Do it because it works for you. Every hitter is different. You're your own hitter. You know, you're not this guy, you're not this guy. I'm not that guy. I was me. And that's what I always tried to be. And, you know, do what works for you. Get to the right spot. Do what works for you. Focus on drills that work for you. That's the biggest thing.
All right, and the last thing I'll say is just listen to what Dallas says. It's not easy. It's difficult. You got to work at it. Some people don't like the tee. Oh, I'm too good for the tee. Things like that. This guy played professional baseball, and here he is talking about how important is the tee. You look at somebody like Albert Pujols. You may not know who he is. Your parents will know who he is. All right, that guy hits on a tee every day, and he's one of the best hitters that we've ever seen. Those guys work at the craft. They try to be comfortable. So then when you're getting to hit in a game, all you're thinking about is what's that pitcher throwing. You're seeing it and you're reacting. You're not overthinking things. So you got to work hard now to make it simple in the game. So hitting's hard, but I appreciate Dallas coming out and working with us, and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot.
See ya.